Okay, we haven't had a video in a while, so it's time to do a video, and I've been waiting for a couple of weeks here to get a few things ready. Um, so we're doing a Masters of Flintknapping induction video here today, and we're gonna put some new points from some very skilled nappers into our Masters of Flintknapping frame, and only because it's the person who sent the most points to me. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff. Appreciate it from Killer Cork. I might have to do a miniature frame of Masters of Flintknapping miniatures, because when I lift this box up, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Bam! Look at those little debbies, huh? Yep. Let me zoom in the camera just to hear a little bit, so you can see good. So Killer Cork, when we did our flint napping, first 2026 Michigan personal nap in at Algonac State Park, he brought these points to me. So what we've got here, we've got several miniature points. Here's a little obsidian point. Kind of an interesting looking point. I'm trying to hold it up there so you can see it good. So there's that one. And then here's this little guy, this little triangle point that Killer Cork made. And that's out of that opalized glass. I don't know if you can see some of the colors in there, but that's pretty cool. There. And then we've got this, looks like a little bifurcate, little serrated bifurcate. Not sure what kind of material that is. I think this is a material that I gave Killer Cork. I think this is some of that landscape rock that I picked up. That what do they call it, harvest wheat or something. It's a material. It kind of looks like Fort Payne material, and in fact, that's probably where the rock comes from. Is somewhere in Tennessee or Arkansas or something like that. Somewhere down there in the South. But yeah, that's a little bifurcated point, serrated, and that's out of that Fort Payne stuff. And then this is a little teeny tiny that Killer Cork made, or Jeff. Jeff is as Killer Cork's actual name, but this looks like a little piece of Keokuk, I think. Little side notched, corner notched little point. See what I mean by these things are so small? I'm going to have a separate frame just for all these little teeny tinies, because I think they'll get lost in the master's frame. So moving along, he's got this little corner notch point. It's made out of I think this is picture jasper right here. Not sure if you can see it. Maybe zoom in out a little bit more, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting point. It's got some little swirly patterns in it. And I got that one. And then this one, I don't have a UV light, but this is a piece of old antique glass. I think that Killer Cork made this little point out of. And this might be uranium glass. It kind of might have a possibility that if I had it under a black light and shined it on there, it would glow like a kind of a, I think it glows like kind of a like a neon green or a neon purple color or something when the uranium that's in the glass phosphoresces. And I don't know if this is radioactive or not, if it's got uranium in it. It kind of has that coloring like it might be, but we'll have to check it out and find out when I get a UV light flashlight or something. I might have to pick one up from Temu, because you can buy anything cheap on Temu. And then he's got this little thing, and I think I want to say it's an obsidian, this little corner notch, but it's I'm not sure. It's kind of got that bubbly stuff, so it could be some of that bubbly obsidian from Alan Cole out there in Oregon. Or this could be like a type of silver sheen or a gold sheen. But you can see when you turn it a certain way in the light, it kind of flashes like some silver in there. Does a little bit on this side, but the other side is definitely a lot better. It's like this whole surface is all that silver silver or gold sheen kind of stuff. And then when you flip it over on this side, the only bit of sheen that you see is kind of down this edge, comes around and down at the base. But then you got this clear black area right there. So that's kind of cool. So now moving on, we got the three bigger points that we can probably get in the Masters frame for no problem. And Killer Cork made this. It's kind of like a dovetail or a Snyder looking thing. Beautiful, nice wide notches on there. I noticed Jesse makes points like this kind of too, with these where they come in kind of narrow and then they open up and get real round like that. You'll see in a minute. But this is made out of a gray and white Novaculite that Killer Cork got. Probably ordered it from Danny Collins, I would guess. And then moving on, we've got this white barbed and tang point. That's made out of white Novaculite. And Killer Cork signed it and dated it. And the interesting thing is I seen on Killer Cork's website, on his channel, he had a little short video of this point. And the interesting thing is the expert that we are known best expert on barbed and tang points, because they're found in Europe and I believe Great Britain also. Our good friend from the UK, Scott Lauer, he left a comment on Killer Cork's channel saying that was a great example of a barbed and tang point. And I have to agree with Scott on that. That's a beautiful example right there. It's nice and thin. It's got the long barbs and then the little tang on there to attach it to an arrow. And so yeah, that's going to be a nice addition too to the frame. And the last one here is, I think this is a little northern side notch that Killer Cork made. And this is out of some mahogany obsidian. That is some beautiful looking stuff there. I don't think it's triple flow. Yeah, it might be triple flow. Because right here, right where my fingernail is, right near my dirty fingernail, there's a little bit of clear right in there when you hold it up to the light. So it technically could be considered a triple flow, I guess, if you want to call it. But he signed it real nice and put the year on it. So now let's get these ready to put in the frame. Actually, we got a couple other additions to the frame too, but this is all Killer Cork stuff right here. Like I said, these smaller ones I may have to hold off and get a separate frame for those, because they're so tiny. I think they're gonna get lost in there. So got those points from Killer Cork. And then while Jeff and I were at Elginak State Park doing our little nap in with Ross Wellman, Ross brought me this Snyder point that he made out of black butter obsidian, and it's beautiful. That is a nice size Snyder point. I'm getting a lot of Snyder points, or Snyder-esque looking points from the guys. They know that my last name is Snyder, so they put those in there for me. So, and now I got to get my other point out. This point is very special. I've been carrying this one around in my pill bottle. I got a pill bottle that I take with me to work. I carry a couple little things in there, and I've been carrying this point in this pill bottle for about a month now, I think, because I've been just waiting to do a Masters of Flintknapping frame video, but I wanted to do it with a group of points. So let's take this one out and look at it, and I'll tell you who it's from. And it's a very nice point also. Like I said, all these guys that have contributed to the Masters frame, I appreciate it, and I thank all of them very much, because it's very cool to see everybody else's work in the napping community. But this is made by Stoneface. That's his handle on his channel, and he goes by Charles, is his first name. But he made this beautiful little Toya point. Not sure what the material is. Kind of a pinkish, orangish looking material. But yeah, this thing's a very sweet looking little Toya, and I'm starting to get some Toya points. Guys are realizing that I kind of like these. They're kind of neat looking, and so I've been having a lot of guys making these. I haven't tried to make one of these myself. This would be about my speed, because for me to make something quite large like this, or even some of these points that Killer Cork sent me, as well as Ross's point. I'm not quite at that level yet, but I would be at the level I could probably make stuff like this, these little Toyas and Cahokias and things like that. So anyways, let's get them in the frame. Let's start figuring out what we're going to do with them. So I'm going to try and keep these all in frame here while we bring the big frame in. So there they all are. And we might have to move some stuff around in here. Like I said, I may have to get a whole nother frame, another big Masters of Flintknapping frame, because I'm getting a lot of stuff. So what we got to do here now, let's see. Let me see if I can pan over here a little bit. Let me see. Maybe I zoom out. That's what I need to do. Zoom out. There we go. Now we can kind of see the whole frame, or more of it. Let me just move my tripod around a little bit. I got to be kind of careful here. So what we're going to do, this is going to be a little bit difficult of a decision, Ross, because these 2 points you sent me a while ago, but I may put these in a different frame because I got to have room for that big Snyder point. That thing's huge. So I'm going to probably put that right in there like that. Keep it with the signature on there. I'll looks like that barbed and tang that you made me will be there. See, there's a barbed and tang there. That's one Ross made me. And then this is a barbed and tang that I got from Scott Lauer. That's one that he made. And I think there's different designs of them. Some of them have a square base to them. Some of them have a rounded base to them. But that's a barbed and tang point also. That's from Scott Lauer in the UK. That's made out of, I think this one's made out of bullhead flint. It's either bullhead or it's a chalk flint. I know this point here that he sent me is chalk flint. So I'm assuming that's probably bullhead right there. So we're going to put that one back in there. Squeeze these things in here. I'm trying to find a little bit of room here. So since Jeff or Killer Cork gave me a barbed and tang, I'm going to try and put this barbed and tang right in this area right here. I just got to find a good place to put it. That looks great in there. So we're going to put that one there. I got to move a few things around. These are points. These are a couple points here, I think, that Harley made me. This one here is from Marty Youngbear. This is a Snyder point that he made me. I think this is this is Marty Youngbear too. This one here. He's getting to be a good napper too. He's making some really phenomenal stuff there. So actually, let's see. We got this big piece here. Let's see where I can find a home for this. Let me see. I can maybe move these over a little bit. Like this. Put that there. I think I'm going to try and put that little... There's quite a bit of obsidian stuff in here, so I'm kind of moving this stuff around a little bit more. Just try and squeeze everything in here a little bit here. So that's going to be the other one that Killer Cork made. Put that one there. Ow. I'm going to put this one, let's see, maybe we'll put this one up here. I'm going to put those right there, like that. I'm going to probably move them around again, once I do that. And now I got to find a little place for this little Toya. And I think I'm going to put the Toya like right down, I think right about there would be good. That's a little high spot there. So when I put pressure on that, it'll stay right where I put it. And then I think I'm going to try and squeeze this little guy here that killer cork put. I'm going to put that one right like that, right there, I think. I don't know if I got room to put any of these other ones in because they're so darn tiny. That's the problem. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. I'll put that little guy right inside of that one that that circular point that Jesse made. I might put. I don't know. That might not put enough pressure on it. Like I said, these little guys here, I'm going to have to put in a different frame. They're just too. They're just too tiny. So, anyhow, still got to move some stuff around in here. Like I said, I'm going to have to get another frame because this one is way maxed out. All the stuff that's in here. So, let's see. We can do a little talk on some of the points here. I'm not going to go into a real elaborate thing because the video's already pretty long. But got a piece here by Jim Main. This one here and this one here is from Jim Main. And then this little cluster kind of here with a lot of the obsidian and these. This is a Jim Main point also. But this Toya here and all this, some of this is all Jesse Para. Then you got Patrick's point there, Jack Crafty. There's another Jack Crafty point right there. And then we've got some obsidian points from Bill Taylor out in Oregon. These three are from him. And we got Danny Collins. I'm going to keep this Dalton, I think, in here because I don't have too many points by Danny Collins. And I got a separate frame set up for Danny Collins because of some of the other things that I have from him. And you got this Flint River, Georgia Flint here. This is a big Snyder that Marty Young Bear made for me. And you got Sal's big art point. And Sal made a Toya point for me. There's another Toya point. So there's a bunch of them in here. And then all this right along in here is Scott Lauer's points from the UK. That's all either chalk flint or bullhead flint. This is a piece of Georgia Flint River. This is an Abbey point. That's from Jake Anderson from Gulf Coast Napping. This dovetail here is out of Flint Ridge. That's from Roy Miller. And then this is a Brad Moore pine tree made out of Flint Ridge. So yeah, that's pretty much that's it for the Masters of Flintknapping frame. Like I said, I gotta get to it and get some more frames ordered and ready because all these little points I got, it's amazing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that like that. I think that looks a little better like that. How about that? How about that? You like that? I'm sure Patrick will like that. And like I said, I got this 1 point from Ross. That's a Dalton. And I'm going to just have to keep it out of the frame, I think. I don't know if I can find any more room in here. It's pretty hard on that. I was lucky to find room for the ones I just got. So, like I said, until next time, I'm going to have to get another frame. And we'll start over again. This is Masters of Flintknapping frame number 1 right here. So, anyways, like, share, subscribe, comment, stay healthy, stay good, and stay young and get rich. All right, I'll talk at y'all later. Love you guys.